Alrighty, I'm gonna jump right into the next one. So I need to remember for myself that King of Tokyo, which is the one I just did, is the one that's going to go up first because I made the joke about the sponsors for the video. Um, and I actually think that's something that I like. This is something that my brother and I talked about, is actually creating like a narrative or a continued story or jokes between videos. Because that's something that him and I do all the time, is we have jokes that nobody else gets. It's just us. And so I think self-referential comedy and jokes that go between videos, and jokes that last longer and longer, inside things for you guys, the subscribers, I think I'm going to do that. So yeah, in the last video about King of Tokyo, I talked about our sponsors. And you can learn about that there. Ooh! Incentive to watch another video. I am maniacal. This is infused tequila. I infused it earlier in a little flask. It's delicious. It's delicious. So, second game of the night, and like sixth game of the series, is Tranquility. And oh wait. I have to do a timestamp thing for this whole video. I have to do a timestamp. So in the last one was the spelling bee dab. What do I have to do? I have to do something. I gotta do something, guys. I've got to do something for a timestamp thing, and it's got to be. I'll just take a sip. I'll take a sip every time I need to talk about something new. So, all right. Game. What is it? It's perfect. This can be so obvious when I'm going back through the video. So, this is Tranquility. That was the wrong side of it. This is Tranquility. I'm going to push it forward so you guys can see it even better. That sounded like Guga Foods. Have you guys seen that guy, Guga Foods? He is one of the best food people to listen to on YouTube. He's like, we're going to make a steak. It's going to be delicious. So good. You should check him out. This is what I'm talking about. Referential stuff that only you guys know. Yeah, so Tranquility, this is by Board Game Hub. And the only reason I have this game is due to the kindness of Alex from Board Game Co. I have gone up to his house 3 times in the last year, in the year 2021. And we have played a lot of games and had a lot of fun. I've also filmed some videos. And one of the videos that we filmed was part of his top 10 series that he just finished recently. He just did 10 through 1 recently. And he talked about this game, and he said that we should play it. And so for the entire 20-minute outro of a video that was already 30 minutes, we just played this game. So I've only played it once, but it's in my collection now because when he met up with me at PAX, he gave it to me, which I thought was really sweet. I've only played it once, but this game is... who are the designers for this? I don't even know. That's so cool. Multilingual Kickstarter edition. Man, that's neato, gang. Okay. You guys are going to find out the designers and the artist and all that stuff with me. You're going to figure it out with me. Where's the attribution? Where's the credits? Here we go. Game designer is James Emmerson. The illustrators, Tristram Rawson. I should have known that from the look of this. I like his stuff. So game designer James Emmerson, illustrator Tristram Rawson. And yeah, the synopsis of this game is it's a numeric puzzle game. So what you do is you have a start section and an end section. And the goal is you have a certain amount of numbers. I think it's 1 through 80, or it may be 1 through 100 actually. And your goal is to make it all the way across and layer it in a row and in columns of all the numbers 1 through 100. But the thing is, the amount of spaces that are in the board is much more than 1 through 100. You have to slowly place cards down in sections, and then you have to decide, Is 45 going to go closer to the beginning in this game, or is it going to go kind of in the middle, or is it going to maybe go further towards the end? Based off of the numbers in my hand, the numbers in other players' hands, where are these numbers going to go? And if you've played Welcome 2, it's a little bit like that. In the sense that, Welcome 2 is that flippin' right, where you are trying to organize houses in a neighborhood, in a subdivision in, like 1950s, America or whatever. And, you have maybe 1 through 15 as the numbers, but the first row only has 10 spots. So you can't obviously fit 15. The second maybe has 12, and the third has 14. And so you kind of have to decide, based off of the random numbers that will flip through the deck, where you want the 2 to be, where you want the 6 to be. And you have to finesse that in a way that works for you and that actually doesn't screw you over and make you have massive spaces where you don't need them to be, or never find the right card that you need. So Tranquility works in a similar fashion because you have way fewer spaces than the actual numbers of cards you have, but you don't know the cards that you're going to pull. And so it's a little bit of deduction and a little bit of reasoning and also a little bit of luck. It's a very calm game, which I think works because the title is Tranquility, which is very, lightly scripted there, upside down as well on the bottom half of it. But it's a very simple, very beautiful little card game that I've only played once. So, but yeah, it lasts like 20 minutes. And it's 1 to 5 players, and it says age is 8 to 100 years, which is probably pretty accurate. If I'm 100, I hope I'm at the mental state where I want to play board games. It's kind of hard to keep this game in focus because it's such a small game. I'm going to just keep it back here and talk about it. So, why I have it. Timestamp. Why I have it. I have it because Alex gave it to me. Because he's a generous person who had a second copy. And so he decided to give me this one. And you know what? I know that he had his reasons for giving it to me. But he gave me the version that I felt had the nicer cards. Because he had, the logical reason of he actually thought the other version was better to shuffle. But he gave me the nicer version, technically, in order to do it. So that's why I have it. Alex gave it to me. Played it once. I like it. This is one that I could easily play with Amber, and we just talk over it and not have to worry about it. So, yeah, that's why I have it. What I like about it. Timestamp. What I like about it. I like that it is relaxing. I like that it is simple. I like that it is beautiful to look at. I like that a friend gave it to me. I like that it's a small box and it doesn't impose itself on your collection if you are, cramped for space, which I am to a degree. We just don't have good storage in this house, so currently all of the games are in my office. Most of them are in a 5x5 calyx, and then the other ones are in my entertainment center that has my TV in it, and on each side is, shelving space that has board games in it. And that is the total amount of space that I am allotted in this house for board games because we have 2 kids, a third one on the way, and this house doesn't, is built in the 70s and does not have efficient storage anywhere except the kitchen. The kitchen's great. But that's what I like about it is that it's, it's small, which I appreciate games that I enjoy that are small because they make me less worried about space that they're taking up. I mean, currently, Bloodborne and Black Rose Wars take up almost, 3.5 calyx spaces all by themselves. So that's what I like about it. When did I get it? I got it. Timestamp. I got it at PAX. So, he gave it. Now, I played it before PAX, but he brought it to PAX and kind of surprise gave it to me. So that was, the weekend of the 10th, 11th, and 12th of December 2021, which is probably one of the few games I've talked about in this series so far that I have a very specific knowledge of when I got it. Will it leave? Timestamp. Will it leave? Maybe. I don't know. Small box games have the potential to stay longer because they take up less space, which to a degree makes sense. To a degree, it doesn't make sense because if you have a ton of small box games, they eventually take up a ton of space. It's just a matter of which ones you want. But I'm in no hurry to get rid of this. I haven't even played it since I played it with Alex. I haven't even taught it to Amber, who I'll probably wait post-baby delivery for, because this is not one that is necessarily going to help her through delivery or help her through labor. So, yeah, I don't need it to leave. I also am not, absolutely attached to it, so at some point down the road, I could easily see it leaving. Would you like it? Timestamp. I know that I was doing the dab in the last video and the sipping in this one. I kind of also just like the auditory joke of going, timestamp. So maybe I'll keep doing that as well. We'll see. Maybe I'll add it to the stuff. If you guys like the gestures, let me know. I'll come up with a random one every single episode if I can. Or I'll use your suggestions. But would you like it? It depends. This is one of those that's probably going to be hot or cold for a lot of people. If you don't like filler games, or you don't like simplistic, relaxing games that don't have a lot of oomph to them, I don't think you'll like this. It really doesn't have... There's some expansion or module or variant content in here, like small cards that add nuances to it, that could give you quite a bit of variability if you like playing this, or it could give you a little bit more of a challenge if you think that it's not enough. Much in the same way that Welcome 2 has a buku of expansions that that iterates on that same mechanic or same original design. But it's just it depends. Do you have a lot of small box games? Small box. That sounds like smallpox or small spock. If you don't have a lot of small box games, I don't necessarily see you getting this. If you do have small box games and you find good purposes for, reasons to have this, kind of going back to the conversation I had in the last video, if you are the kind of individual who has certain games for certain scenarios, this could fill a spot for you. If you are a player who has a consistent game group, who has very particular desires or needs as a player, I don't necessarily see you needing to get this. Or, yeah, that is what I meant to say. I don't necessarily see you needing this unless it fits within that, wheelhouse. Otherwise, it's, it's simple. And I don't need it to be anything more than it is. And that's why it's okay with me. That's why it's probably going to stay. And then... timestamp for ratings. Off of a single play, I would give this a 7 out of 10. And for the same way with King of Tokyo, I'm okay with that. That doesn't bother me at all. It has a function. It has a purpose in my collection other than being like the game that I need or the game that I want. It's relaxing. It's enjoyable. I had a good time when I played it with Alex. I guess, to me, what a game does for you and why you have it in your collection comes down to what is the reason that you play games. If you play games for the challenge, I don't know if this would be challenging enough. And it's kind of it's why I love games like Forbidden Stars or Twilight Imperium, or I guess no, that's not really what it's why I steer towards player interaction versus non-player interaction. It's probably why Euros don't always hit the way that they do for other people for me, because I like player interaction. I don't like Seven Wonders because I want to talk to people, and when people have their heads down looking at card drafting, they don't talk very much. So the idea that I can casually talk to somebody, while playing this makes it valuable to me as a game, which therefore informs my rating of it. So yeah, I think after one play, I'd give this a solid 7 out of 10. Could go down, could go up, but we'll have to see for successive plays. And then perfect timing, timestamp, thumbnail. Ooh, I can compare their sizes because they're both small. And that's a good thumbnail because it's the timestamp marker in the video and it's also the size of the game. That's pretty good. As I said last time, whatever feedback you guys want to give. I kind of like this red filter. It's not as harsh. I did just look directly into it, kind of like looking into the sun, so my eyes are a little stunned right now. But it's not as harsh, so I kind of like the color vibe on it more. So I'm probably going to keep this red filter on for now. Maybe it's going to be different in the daylight, but right now at night with it being dark out and the crappy light, and we're going to repaint these walls, so they're eventually going to be lighter, which I think is going to be better for overall light in the room. I can't really do anything though right now about the painting, so sorry for whoever thought. If you think it's ostentatious, totally understand. But until then, I'm going to be your friendly neighborhood guy with a sunbeam behind him. I watched Spider-Man 3 in theaters recently, so that's why I have the friendly neighborhood stuff in my head. Also, my son's been rewatching them, so that he's ready when the other one drops on Disney Plus, which I assume maybe it never will actually, because they have that stuff with Sony. Eventually, I'm going to get to the point where I have that end screen, and it's just going to have like links to other videos, and then at that point, I don't even know if there's going to be sound here. You guys aren't going to hear me talking. It's just going to be, you're going to see me talking, but maybe it's going to have some end music. Guys, we're going to make some progress. You're like, this guy sucks right now, but he might not suck later. So I think I'm done. I think that works for Tranquility. Should I do that vlog thing? I don't think I'm cool enough yet to do the vlog thing. Also, like, if you do the vlog thing, they shove their hand in the camera, but then obviously they have to take it off and physically push the button, which means that they then have to edit the part where they took their hand off and then push the button. And right now, I mean, maybe later, guys, but right now, I'm just at the point where I need to get videos out, so I'm not editing. I'm just pushing the button, which is right there in front of me. So I'm gonna push the button. And I'm gonna say good night. And this is 2 videos, so that should be, if I do things right, that should be Tuesday and Wednesday. Which, if you watch these videos not on those days, that means nothing to you. But if you watch those videos on that day, that means tomorrow, which, when you watch it, it would actually be me talking about it would be yesterday. But yesterday in the context of when you watch it versus, I think I've lost most of you at this point. So I'm gonna hang up.